And welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to check whether the user is signed in into iCloud in React Native's new architecture for iOS. So let's get started. So first you will need to create a new project using this particular command. Now here, instead of turbo module example, you can write your own project name. You don't need to hard code this particular version, don't add this particular dash version 0.76.0 because it will take the latest version, and at the time of recording this video I am using React Native 78. Okay, so once your project is created, I think I forgot to open the project. So this is my React Native project. Again, ignore all this. So you should see something like this. You also need to install CocoaPods as well. It will ask you whether you want to install CocoaPods. Just click yes. Then you need to go to the so here you can see they are asking us to create a specs folder. So I have created one specs folder inside the root of our React Native project. Then we have created a TypeScript file called native cloud storage. Native local storage. Now native local storage does not make sense in our case, so I have named it as native cloud storage. You can name it whatever you feel like, but do remember this name because this name will be used in lot other places, and the file name has to start with the word native. So that is very important. So here you can see I have basically copy pasted all this code, and I have just removed all these 4 methods, and instead I have just used one method. So here you can see I have just created one method called check if user is signed in, and the return type is promise boolean. Okay, then here there is one more thing which you need to change. Instead of native local storage, you will have to write native cloud storage because that is the name of our TypeScript file. Then what we need to do is again just scroll down, and here inside package.json we need to add this bit of code as well. So just copy that, and if I show you my package.json, here you can see I have already added that bit of code. But again, we will have to change the name to native cloud storage followed by the word spec. Don't forget that. And here also we need to use native cloud storage. Okay, once you do that, what you will have to do, go to the root of your React Native application and just run npm install. Because we have changed package.json file, we have to do it. I have already ran it, so I won't do it again. Once that is done, you will have to cd to the iOS directory. So just copy this and cd to iOS, and inside over here we have to just run bundle install. So I'll just paste it over here. Again, I won't run it, I have already ran it, but this might take a bit of time. And after that you also need to run bundle exec pod install. So again, just paste it over here. I won't run it, I have already ran it, but again this might take a bit of time as well. So it will basically do code generation for the TypeScript file which we have created. Then if you scroll down, let's see how to use it first. So first you just have to go to app.tsx, and here you can see I have just imported touchable opacity as well, and here we are importing our native cloud storage. Inside our app, I have just taken this particular use state depending on whether the user is already signed in or not. And here I have created one button, and on click of it, we just check whether the user is already signed in, and whatever value we get, we assign it to our use state variable. And here you can see we just update the value inside our text element as well. Now I will also call this particular thing inside use effect, because suppose if I have already signed in into iCloud, the value will be false by default. Okay, which might confuse some users because we are only checking whether the user is signed in inside the button press handler. So we don't want to do that. So I will just add this bit of code inside the use effect as well. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Okay, I think I can't do this like this. I can't use async await inside use effect. So I'll just create one method, check if user signed in. Okay, I'll paste it like this, and I will just add one async modifier over here, and I'll call this check user signed in inside our use effect call. So yeah, if you want, you can just call this particular thing inside on press as well, because we have created a reusable method, but I'll keep it as it is. It's up to you how you want to do it. So yeah, that's it on the app.tsx side. Now let's see how to actually write the code for it. Now we will be writing Swift code, but we'll have to go through the Objective-C bridging header. Now many of you might be thinking that okay, we can write this code in Objective-C as well, but I don't like writing objective C. I mean, we have to write objective C, like minimum objective C for communicating with Swift file, but I tried writing the main logic inside Swift because that's where the Apple ecosystem is heading or already headed. So as you can see over here, we need to open our Xcode project. So we can do it manually. Just go to your React Native project, go to iOS folder and double click on this .exe workspace. It will open it for you in Xcode. I have already opened it. Next, what you need to do is you need to create a group called native cloud storage, not native local storage. So to create a group, here you can see they have given it in the documentation, but I'm just showing it to you again. Just right click, new group, and you can give it name as native cloud storage. I already have it, so I won't do it again. So I'll just delete this particular thing. Also, we require the iCloud capabilities because I might forget later on. So make sure you have added a proper team, and I'll add some proper like at least one decent bundle identifier. This is extremely bad bundle identifier, so something like com dot nobody dot my React Native app. Now even this is a bad bundle identifier, but at least it's better than the one which we originally had. Then click on this plus capability and you will have to add iCloud and check all these three options. Okay, so let it do its thing. And also I will run it on a real device. The real device which I have is an iPad, so I'll just go to general section. You don't have to do this particular thing. Okay, just ignore this. Like I have just ran this application just to save time, but ignore, you won't be facing this issue. So I will just go to general, and here I will also add iPad. Okay, yeah, and I'll just run it just so that I can save time. So you might have created this group. Next you need to create an objective C file. So just right click, then do not select new empty file, select this new file from template only, because if you select new empty file it will not ask you for creating a bridging header. At least I face this issue. Maybe this issue might get fixed by the time you watch it. That's why I don't like it. Then here you will have to select iOS, select Cocoa Touch class, click next, and here you will have to write name as RCT native cloud storage. Okay, select language as Objective C, click next, and here you will have to make sure the target is checked and click create. I already created it, so I won't create it again. And Xcode will automatically ask you, do you want to create a bridging header? Click yes. So you should see these three files, this header file, this Objective C file. Okay, I think my Xcode is, yeah, and this bridging header file as well. Now inside the bridging header file you will have to add this particular import. Now this is, I think, only required from React Native 77 or 76. I'm not really sure, because the entire, now what React Native has done is they have removed the Objective C code from their default template which is present. That's why we have to add this particular import. Like while writing native code we still have to go through Objective C, but at least they have removed the Objective C which was present inside your default. It is directly created this app delegate inside Swift file. Anyways, you don't have to know all this, so you just have to add this import. Again, I think it is from React Native 77 only. Then you will have to go to this header file. Also we'll create this Swift file first. So just again right click, new file from template, click Swift file, click next, and name it as native cloud storage. So something like this. Okay, and make sure targets has been checked and click on create. Now I have already created this, so I won't create it again. So first you will have to go to this header file. Now again I have copy pasted this code from the documentation, so if you want you can go through this documentation over here. Now there are few things which you will have to change. Firstly, they have missed this particular line inside the documentation. Hopefully by the time you watch this video they fix the documentation. If not, do not forget this particular line. Next, here instead of native local storage you will have to write native cloud storage followed by the word spec. Similarly over here as well, similarly over here as well, and similarly here we need to write RCT native cloud storage, which is the name of our file. Next, you have to change the extension of this particular Objective C file manually to from .m to .mm, which is Objective C++. We'll come back. Okay, let's just go through this. So first we are importing this header file. Then here we need to call some Swift code right from our objective C++ code. That's why we need to write this particular import. This is not in the documentation. This should be the name of your iOS project. So here you can see my iOS project name is rnapp, or basically it is the name of your bridging header file, but it is both are same. So you will have to write your own bridging header file name followed by the thing dash swift.h will be common for everyone. Then here again I have just copied it from the documentation, only this name has been changed. This also have been copied from documentation, this name has been changed. This has been copied from documentation, this name has been changed. Now here we initialize our Swift file, which I will show you shortly. This is how we initialize it. This also have copied it from documentation, only this particular name has been changed. Then here we override this check if user is signed in method, which we define it inside our TypeScript file. Here we on the main thread there is a method called check if user is signed in inside our Swift file as well. So that's what we are doing over here, and if it is success we resolve it as success, else we resolve it as no. So yeah, that's what, and make sure you don't forget this @ end as well to end the file. Then come back to our Swift file, and here we just import UIKit as well as CloudKit, and here we just create a class called native cloud storage extends ns object. Here you have just defined a method called check if user is signed in, and here is our completion handler. Then here we just do ck container.default.account status. If the status is available, then we do completion handler as true, otherwise we do completion handler as false. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully I have not forgot anything. So I have told you to add this particular thing as well. Make sure you add iCloud and check all these options. Yeah, I think I have shown you everything. I have also shown you this particular part. So let me just add some padding for this particular button, because the output is getting like the button is getting overlapped with the status bar, that's why. Now let me just share my, make sure you run it on a real device. You can, I think, test it on a simulator as well, but sometimes it gives the wrong result. Now I have already signed it into iCloud on my real device, so hopefully it should return true to me. Let's just wait for this to finish. Okay, so here you can see we have this particular, even before I clicking on this button it is returning me true, because we call that method inside use effect as well. If I click on this button again nothing will change. The output remains the same. If you want to check the false case as well, you will have to log out from iCloud. I'm not doing that. So yeah, if you want you can do that as well. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching.